plaintiff, Maurice Walker, says he has dated the defendant for 10 years, and they have 3 children. Maurice claims the defendant is now pregnant, but another man claimed he was the father, so he petitioned the court for a paternity test. Defendant Destiny Lockhart says around the time she got pregnant, she and Maurice were on a break. Destiny insists Maurice has always known that he may not be the father, but she hopes the DNA test proves that he is.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right, we're here today to determine the paternity of a child. And glad you came here. Costs a lot of money for the best test, paternity and DNA test, and that's what we help administer, the best. And we encourage folks to come here to find out paternity because that's very important. So we've done so with you all, but before we disclose our results, I'm going to allow you to give me an impression of what you believe to be the case.
Well, Your Honor, I met Destiny maybe 10 years ago. She's like my ride or die. We've been together. She's my backbone. We have 3 kids together. And like the end of 2016.
You all live together?
Yes, sir, we do. Towards the end of 2016, I cheated, and I probably caused some problems within our relationship. At the beginning of 2018, my stepfather passed away, and we moved to Greensboro. I moved back in to help my mom because she was kind of sick and whatever. From that time, being that I'm from Greensboro, I noticed that Destiny had a friend on Facebook that I wasn't familiar with. It wasn't one of my friends, and I was just kind of curious about who the gentleman was.
What were they saying to each other on Facebook?
Well, it was more like just liking each other pictures, just things that I didn't know. I was like, well, who is this guy?
So you know everybody else on her Facebook?
Well, basically, I'm from Greensboro, so by her moving to Greensboro, I expected, for our mutual friends to be our mutual friends, at least somebody that I would know of or kind of know of.
Okay. And this person you had never known of?
No, sir.
And was he living in Greensboro?
Yes,
the
sir.
Internet is the world. I mean, people
yes, sir.
do
From
Facebook,
my understanding, yes, sir.
He was right there in town?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Did you ask about him?
Yeah, I asked her about him, and she stated that she didn't know who he was. It was just a guy, she was just liking just stuff that he posted. He was liking things that she posted.
Okay.
We went on a vacation. We came back. We were staying at my house that night, and her roommate from where she lived came and knocked on the door like 4 o'clock in the morning, bamming on the door, and I'm like, well, what's going on, And I see a gentleman standing outside. And at that time, I asked Destiny, like, well, who is he? She don't know, some kind of drunk guy is what she was saying, some kind of drunk guy. And I proceeded to ask him, like, well, who are you? And he turned to me and asked me who was I. And I told him that, I'm her baby father, that's my girl. He's like, well, I'm her baby father too.
How old did he say the child was?
He didn't. I mean, I know the other kids.
One of your 3?
No, sir, I know it's not one of the 3.
She's had a 4th child?
She's carrying a child now. She's 5 months pregnant.
And the
child that we're here for.
Guy says it's his child.
Right.
And he came to your house?
He actually.
2 of you live?
She has her own place. Okay. It's maybe 3 houses down, but we stay together mostly at my house, and okay. Her roommate, like I say, just came and knocked on the door like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was thinking something.
That was pretty risky. Why do you think he came at 4 though? That's the other part, because that's booty call time. Sound like he was using her for a booty call. After he run out of luck at the club, he comes to his old standby.
Right.
Run in and out.
Yeah.
Do his business and leave. You want to tell me something, man?
Maurice can go ahead and finish telling the story.
Go ahead.
Well, that's basically it.
That's what I thought.
After that.
I thought that was enough for the story.
Well, I mean,
the bottom line was a man showed up at 4 a.m. saying he's impregnated you, and that's the story. right?
Correct.
And that's why her current pregnancy is in question.
Correct, sir.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, do you have anything to say?
During the time that I got pregnant, Maurice and I was not together. Yeah. We was having problems in our relationship.
Okay.
I moved out.
Were you living together?
I moved out. I got my own place.
Before you became pregnant?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Maurice knew that it was a possibility that it wasn't his baby. Like.
You told him that?
Yes, sir. I did tell him. He asked, and I told him.
Okay. And what do you think it was about for this guy to come at 4 a.m.?
I don't know.
And start some mess? Okay. You didn't ask a guy about it? You still involved with it?
No.
Okay. So if he's the father of the child, how do you think that's going to play out with you not being involved with it? Do you know much about it?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. You think he'll be a good father?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Okay. You guess so? You've lived with the 3 children all their lives?
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a good enough father to stay under the same roof, as long as you're not abusing anybody in the household and doing your best as a provider and the best you know how in terms of fatherhood. A lot of us never had fathers, so we don't know how to be fathers. But look at other fathers who you do admire and be like them. That's what I did. I looked at my father-in-law. I ain't nothing about being a father. I ain't have a father. 80% of the boys in the projects didn't have fathers. So we ain't know nothing about no fatherhood. Well, when I turned 20 and started going with my wife, and I watched her father, who was a very great father, provider,
nice man.
Professional, good man. You've met him.
Yep.
And so that's how I learned fatherhood, and I tell him all the time. I said, everything I know about fatherhood, I learned it from you. And I told him, I said, 99% of it was good.
Can't be perfect. That's great. You get a kick out of that?
All right, well, you have a good father for the 3. Hopefully he's the father of the 4th, so he can continue to be a good father, because it doesn't sound like you're sure about this other gentleman. All right, so we want to look and see who the child's father is. Who do you think it is? You have no idea?
I'll let Maurice get the clarification from the result.
All right, you don't want to comment on who you think the father of the child is? Ma'am, you don't want to comment on what you think?
We're here for the results for Maurice.
I know that, but I'm asking you a basic question, so it doesn't sound like you want to answer who you think the father is. All right, good enough. You want to be the father?
Yes, I would love to be.
You want him to be the father?
Yes.
Well, shouldn't have stepped out with the other man then. You're not the father, sir. Well, fortunately, the child is not in your life yet, because I know that's where it hurts the most, when the child is in your life. So this is something between the 2 of you. So there it is for you. You on your own. I don't know what to tell you. Have a good day.
I'm good.